Okay, guys. I think today we have quite less number of people, but since you all are here, we'll do this. We'll finish this. Oops. Let's learn what it is, right? Okay, okay, and since you all are here, I need all of you to respond. Be interactive, okay? So, okay, what is oops? Can anyone just give a full form of it? What is oops? What is oops concepts? Object oriented, right? Right. We have object oriented programming. That is what we are going to learn. It is a very important topic when it comes to programming. And today we are going to teach you the same thing in Kotlin. The concept is important. You can switch all the things in any language later on. That is fine. Okay. I better share my screen. Can you all see Kotlin Fundamentals Part 3? Okay. Uh, just a second, okay? Yep. Okay. You can see everything, right? Let's learn about classes and objects. So, about this, what is class? You have heard this classes and objects. That is what consists in object oriented programming. Classes is basically, if you consider any other language like C or something, you can just say it is a data structure. All right. Okay. Class is basically a blueprint. So what you do is, okay, imagine you have to store a record somewhere, right? Maybe you are filling out your ID cards or something and you have your details. So each student can have their own details, which is different. What class can give you is a structure for you. That is, you can store your name, your USN, your college, and okay, imagine three variables. You can store these three, and you can all yeah, imagine you have these three things, and you you have this object, right? Object is basically you. With that means that there is this class from which you store everything. Each objects that you create based on this blueprint is a separate thing. That is, when you create a class, you don't basically store anything in the memory, but when you create an object, you create the thing. So I know it was like all mixture of things you didn't understand properly, but I'll make sure to explain you further. So just know that class is a blueprint and object when you create an object, that object is an instance of that class. That is when you create that, it means you're actually creating the model. That is, class may be a blueprint of your house, and object is that you created the house. That's it. Okay. Next thing, we can directly dive into the, yeah, class. This is our syntax, right? In this you can see there is, yeah, I will, okay, before we dive into syntax and everything, there are four major concepts in object oriented programming. These four major concepts are true for all. So I'll just say you what these four things are. One is encapsulation, second is abstraction, and third is inheritance, and then it is polymorphism. So encapsulation, okay, in a class you mainly have two things with you, that is properties and methods. Properties is basically the, okay, in a class you can define functions and variables. Okay, inside a class you can have functions and variables. So those functions which you have are known as methods, and those variables which you have are called as properties. And why we say we have a property, we have a concept of encapsulation is because, okay, imagine any other array. Okay, in an array you can just store the similar values, right, of the same data type. But in our class we can, along with one data type, we can also have the actions that can be performed for those variables. So it is, we are not restricting that, okay, we can only store variables here, but we also have those functions. So usually in programming you write functions separate, variables separate, and it's all separate. You just call the functions and you just operate on it, right? But in a class it's like, in that class itself you have your we have your functions and properties. Those two things you just, you just encapsulate it together. So that is why it's known as encapsulation. It's mainly like we have so many ingredients of things and it is encapsulated inside. Like, okay, imagine an actual pill itself, right? It's a capsule. You have all the various compounds inside it, which you don't really need to care. Okay, don't really need to care. That is when I can say we have the property of abstraction. What class does for you is, we provide in the abstraction, we don't want to know you more details. That is, how things are performed doesn't need to be known by anyone. So all the details are hidden. That is, some most you have access specifiers. Okay, that is like uh, your variables or things that you create can be like differently accessed. That is, maybe it can be private, it can be public or protected. So based on those things we can hide details for you. So that is about abstraction. That is, we only care about the functionalities that is performed at end, but not what actually happens inside. We don't need to know. Okay, if you have used some packages or something, it's like you import your packages or you just include your packages, but you don't really care what it does. You just use, okay, print ln function. You just directly use print ln function. That is, it belongs to something. Just use it. You don't really need to care how it actually performs, how it actually executes things to your terminal. So yeah, so that is about abstraction. And okay, and when I say inheritance, the third one is inheritance. So in inheritance what we can do is, uh okay, inheritance is something like, okay, imagine something already exists, a class is already exists. Okay, imagine you have your okay, imagine Android OS. Okay, so you have different mobiles. You might have like a Samsung, Realme, or so many other mobiles. Each mobile has the same OS, right? I mean, that is Android. You have Android. So with that, using that, to that you add on your particular UI, and that is how things are different in each mobile. Even though the first class is different, I mean, first class is same. To that, we are extending things and we are making our own okay, different functionalities. We're adding our own different functionalities, right? So yeah, that's about inheritance. And then when I say inheritance, it's more like, first you are creating a class. Your class will be known as the child class, because we have a parent child relationship. So from child class, we inherit the properties and behaviors and methods from the parent class. So that thing is known as inheritance. And when I say inheritance, and I also mentioned there are three specifiers, right? Access specifiers, which was public, protected, and private. So when I say public, you can basically access all your variables of the class anywhere in your program. You can access those variables when it is public. But when it is private, you can only access using the methods that you create in that class. Based on the public methods that you create, you can access those variables. It's like you perform things there itself. That is how you can say you're doing the private, you're handling the private. But protected is similar to private. The only difference is in it can be derived in an inherited class. So you can't basically access it outside, that is access it in a main function or something, but you can access it in the derived class. That is about, okay, inheritance. Okay, next thing, the fourth topic will be polymorphism. Polymorphism, what I can say about it is, there are mainly two things. One is overloading and overriding. Okay, so when it comes to overloading, it is it's more like you have okay, imagine having two different functions with same, okay, sorry, imagine having two different functions with same name but different signatures. When I say signatures, it means that you have different variables that is you're passing to it. So it's like, based on what you're passing thing, it will resolve it for you. That okay, if imagine it is there is a function that wants to it is to display something, right? If you send that, okay, I want my name to be displayed, your name gets displayed. And when I say that I want uh, when I say I want my this thing USN to be displayed, USN displays. It's like what you ask, you get it. That's the thing about overloading. And overriding comes only in classes. Okay, if it's like parent, you had the parent class, right? Parent class and child class. So overriding basically means that when I say inheritance, everything comes like, when you say you're using the functionalities of parent, all the functionalities which can be used comes to you. So the things which if you have the same function name in your parent class and you, and if you want to override yours, that is when this overriding thing comes to picture. Okay, that is about the theory. Now I think we can just directly dive into what we are doing. Okay. Can you see the Kotlin playground? Okay, cool. Let's create a class, right? So what did we have? I can just show you real quick. This was the thing which we had. Syntax. So it was class, name, and then the body inside it. Let me just create a simple class for you. Class, okay, where sorry. So yeah, see, I have created a simple class GDAC. So in it's okay. As you can see, we have a variable, and we also have a function. Okay, so that is what, when I said encapsulation, you have things together. We have things together. And next thing, okay, class is this, and the very next thing will be your accessing that class, right? What you need to do is create an object for it. Okay, you create an object, right? Var obj, and then you just do call the same name, same thing. This is exactly how you call your function. So it's this same thing. When you call this goes to that variable. Let's try to run it. Okay, as you can see, we just created one object, and if I just print for you, hold on, I think we should do an ln. Okay, if I print the object, you can exactly know for what it is created. It says that GDAC is the class, and for that the object has been created. You can basically create as many variables as you sorry, objects as you want, and it happens the same thing. Okay, okay, yeah, that's about class and how did you create the object. Now if you want to access the things directly from the object, what you can do is you have that object, right? You can just put a dot operator and then write whatever you're accessing. Okay, now we can see that the variable which was their message, you're actually accessing it, right? That is about how you access the variable. Okay, next thing. Okay, imagine I also want. Okay, okay. There is something called get and set. Okay, that is getters and setters. Once a variable is created, see, just now you accessed something, and that will be basically your get. What you do is you get it. So, and when you set something, that is when it's called as setting something. When I do obj is equal sorry, obj dot message is equal to some new message that is, okay, if I do something like this, you can see that it actually changes. So there is actually something called, okay, let me just show you real quick how the syntax works. Getters and setters. So this is about yeah, this is about it. The see, variable name, and then you initialize the value. There is a get and set. What your compiler does for you, it creates this get and set value for you by default. So you don't really need to write it, but if you actually need some sort of modifications before you can enter the value, then I think it is best to go with get and set. Let me just show you real quick. So what it does is, when we call the get method, it sends the field, right? And then when I do the set is basically when you're getting the value from you, that is, you're sending. This will be when you use set, and this will be when you use get. Okay, so you have the field already with you, and for that field you're basically saying that that is the value. Oh wait, yeah, okay, this is about it. And okay, imagine this message was something like a number. Okay, maybe you wanted the value to be in a range or something, and if you want to just check before something whether it is right, so if okay, something like, if it's in a range of 1 to 100, just, yeah, something like this, then you can just it is basically to check whether it is there, like, you know, it's validation basically. That is why you can use getters and setters. That is about getters and setters.
Fine. So next we have relationship between classes. It's all about inheritance. So like, see, the thing about inheritance, as Pradnya recently said and start. Now let's just say that let's just say that for example, you have like uh, you have like one, you have like let's keep this a bit more interesting. Now, how many guys have you have played open role playing games, RPG games? Put in the chat. Any good examples? Anyone? Okay, GTA 5. But let's think of fantasy example, fantasy games. It'll help our example better. Anyone? Any fantasy role playing games that they played? Okay, let's take the example of Assassin's Creed. Now, if you have played Assassin's Creed, you know that there are some classes of enemies, right? You have the basic and you have the brutes. Am I right? Those who have played. So you do know that. So how do they implement this? So actually, they use inheritance. What they do is they actually have a basic class which defines the enemy, and then they extend that class and they add extra stuff for the basic enemy and then for the brute. So this is like that's one example where we use inheritance. It's basically you have like a template class, a basic class, we define some stuff, and if you want to add extra stuff, you can create another class and extend from it. Basically, have a copy of it and then add more features. So in I think we keep our examples very simple here because like so for example, you have a smart device and then we call it as a parent, and you have a smart device, which is also a TV. So basically, what you're doing is you're having a smart device class which extends from all the features that a smart device has, but with something more specific to TV that is added. Similarly, for a smart light, you'll have all the features of that of a smart device plus some features of that of a light. Now the syntax for creating a for inheriting is this: you have a class, you have a subclass name. Okay, no, okay, subclass, superclass. Okay, fine. Let's get this properly. Now, in especially in class and objects, the parent class is called superclass, and the class that is the child class is called the subclass. So the child inherits from its parent, and so the child is called a subclass, and the parent is called superclass. This is the basic syntax of how you actually do it. I think we can take a simple example. Go back to the playground, refresh everything, refresh my screen. Okay. Let's have a basic uh, smart TV device. Now here you have the base class, and then this inherits from okay, hard device, main device, category. Now actually see if we need to run the code, we actually need a lot of boilerplate code for this, which I have sadly not prepared. So we'll just live with the syntax. So you see this class as it's a PPT, class name, subclass, optional parameters, superclass, and again optional parameters. So you see here, this is the subclass. This is the class which we are going to create right now, and we're going to just say that it will extend this class. Now, actually, to show this by example, I'll have to write a lot of code to define this and stuff. With the best interest of time, I'm not going to do that. Let's just try to explain as much with words. So you see, imagine you have a smart device class, and it has stuff like let's say it has stuff like when someone says on, it turns on. Someone says off, it turns off. But when you have a smart TV, let's say it has extra features. Like for example, you want to raise up the volume. So assume, just assume that that this function is class is already defined, and you're gonna even have a function like uh, turn up volume. You just say assume there's a variable called volume, or volume is equal to 100, and you can just say if volume is less than 100, one of this. Or is equal to 1. This is actually a shorthand notation, but this is actually the same as volume is equal to volume plus 1. Yeah, and this is a guard condition that we don't exceed the number beyond 100, because as we all know, usually in remotes 100 is the max. So you see here, if we have a class like this, basically we are extending the functionality of already of a smart device. We don't If we assume that a smart device class already has definitions for uh, turning on and turning off, we did not define them again. We can actually just write what we want extra. So you see here, we're actually reusing the code. We don't need to like rewrite everything. That's how inheritance helps a lot. You have one basic class, and if that class is perfect, you can inherit and implement for all the remaining stuff. So that's about inheritance. Similarly, you can extend a lot. Similarly, there are some other features as well. Let me just go back to the PPT. Okay, fine. Let's say, for example, okay, let's say, for example, like uh, this smart TV device. Let's say that the turn on function of the base class, as a parent class, is fine, but then maybe you also want to show something, or you want to like say like, oh, the TV is on. Let me come up with a better example. Let's say, for example, that let's say that in a TV you can actually display you can put on if the TV is an inbuilt audio device, you can actually give it an audio, like I am turned on, like I know TV is turned on. So what we can do is like Imagine, so we have a super function. Super function will basically just say super turn on, turn off. Now, imagine that there's already a turn off function defined in the smart device class. Then this super dot turn off will basically call, I can just write it a separate function, I guess. Fun turn off. And you can just say println he has turned off. So imagine that the smart device class has a definition or a declaration for a function called turn off. So using the super keyword, what we can do is we can basically call the functionality of the smart device, which is of the function present in smart device, and then run this code. So you see here. So coming back to the example of, as I said, in the for enemies in Assassin's Creed, let's say for example, let's say for example that a simple enemy when he attacks, the attack function just attacks. But for a brute, the attack function attacks, but at the same time he also hits. Let's say he hits again, he hits two times. You can I basically add that functionality. So this is how the super keyword can be used. You can just reference the code that is already there in a parent function and then add your own stuff. This makes it really helpful in code reuse. Now, similarly, as we would want to call a parent function, we would also not want to call a parent function. Okay, and that's by using override. So example, if we just override this. Now, what about this function? What this function does? Let's again take the example of the enemy system in Assassin's Creed. I'll keep referencing the same example so that it hits home. Now, if you have played the game, you know that. Okay, how many of you actually have played Assassin's Creed, the recent ones? Any show of hands and in the chat? Yeah, how about Skyrim or at least any RPG game? No, okay, man. You know, right? Can anyone tell their games that they have played open world RPG? Like Skyrim, Assassin's Creed, uh, there are many more. Okay, fine. So you know that, like one enemy may not attack the same as the other. Of some enemy especially, their attack is very different. Let's say for example a mage will just shoot spell or cast spells. So since the functionality may be different for may not be the same for everyone, we can just override basically is telling the Kotlin compiler that don't run the function that is present, even though the turn off function is present. Don't run that. You run what is called over here. Here you can see, here you can do some like uh, turn off code. Basically, some kernel of code which actually requires you to handle the system's power supply. It basically the override function basically overrides the code that is there in the parent, so that we can just ignore it actually exists. Because there are some niche cases where we don't want the code that is present in the parent. So instead of actually creating a new class or actually bypassing it by between some if clauses or something like that, we can just easily just say don't call it. Okay, so then I think this is visibility modifier. I guess we put the PPT. Uh, Visibility modifier. This is a very interesting topic. Okay, let's take this through. Now, I think I can just clean up the code over here real quick. Okay. Now, let's say you have a class. Let's say class AKC function call, and then you have a function. Let's say show number, and this just shows the number. Okay, fine. Now, so the thing is, if you have this an object, let's say, well, get is equal to GKC and and just obj dot and just run the code, I guess. In public notation. Oh yeah, so I didn't mention anything. Okay, it's fine. Okay, in this you call the function called show members, right? Now the thing is there are few functions. Why I eventually restarted the terminal. It's fine. We just try it again. Plus GDSE. Cool. Okay, fine. So basically, let's say that you're writing a code for GDC. Let's code for GDC, and you want to know the members. Now, this thing, one show members. Like this, basically, any class or any object of this class can just call this function. But let's say that you don't want everyone to know this. We can actually make, and this is by default public. Public basically means that this function can be accessed. When I say accessed, it can be called, it can be invoked, it can be accessed anywhere within the class, or it can be accessed by any object of the class. Now, this may not be required, it may not be good, because now imagine the show members has some confidential information we don't want everyone to know. What can we can just we can make it protected. So in this case, what I spelled it wrong, my bad. Protected. Now, in protected, only those classes which inherit this class can access it. And of course, the current class. As I've already shown how inheritance works. Now let's go back to the example of inheritance. Now this inheritance. Imagine there is some class like GDSC colon GDSC. See this. So this is a parent class, right? Yep. This class inherits from GDC. So basically, GDC SJC can call the function show members of GDC. This makes it protected. Basically, and no one else can call this function. There's another property called private. This can be called only by within the class and no one outside. But this way, we can actually restrict the information that we want others to have, and that is basically about visibility modifiers. I think that's all we have going to cover about OOPS. Okay, breaks over, guys. We're gonna have Pratik or Compose facilitator to take over and start Compose. Over to you, Pratik.
Yeah, thanks, Ashish. So, guys, yeah, today we are not going to, exactly, completely build the app since the app is a little, on a heavier part. So, we are just going to, set up the required things today so that, tomorrow we can come up and, complete the app and, build it completely. And this could be your complete first full-fledged application wherein you can have, scrollable list, and then you can explore things and you can make things actually work in this application. So what this application is, so basically this is an affirmations app. So you have, suppose you have a diary or you have a book which is completely of affirmations. So daily you can for say you read one affirmation. Okay. So sometimes these affirmations you tend to pen it down, or you tend to take a note from somewhere else, and you when you read that, it kinds of helps you if you want to recollect it, or if you want to have it as a daily motivation. So that is what is the idea behind this affirmations app. So what we are going to do is to build an affirmations app. Like you can imagine this app similar to your a diary or a dictionary, or dictionary in the sense it's not that actual dictionary. I'm telling about it's kind of imagine it as a book where you write down affirmations, and you know uh, and then when you want, you can look over it and just read through it. So how we make an app using this concept is what we are going to cover in this session. So we will just set up for today, and we'll move further and completely build the app in the next session. So quickly, I want to know how many have you how many guys are ready here to do this along with me, or else I'll just go quickly around it. If you guys are doing along with me, that would be really helpful for me to if you get stuck anywhere, then we could help each other, and then we can proceed. So since we are directly continuing with the app tomorrow, we might not get the time again to set up the things. So it takes some time to set up the things, since we have to clone things from the GitHub to our Android Studio. So I want to know, guys, how many of you are ready to, do it along with me today? Now, how many have you? How many guys have your Android Studio ready now? Feel free to say yes or no, guys. So it's let it be an interactive session. Let it not be like only one person speaking. Okay. So tell me, how many of you guys? It's fine if you're not, if you have not joined through your laptop, or if your Android, if you have not installed your Android Studio, it's completely fine. You can at least watch along, and whenever you get some time, you can try to do it. And if you face any problems, you can go through the materials we'll share. And if at all even that doesn't help, you can reach out to us in our Discord. We can definitely help you out. But that is completely fine. But I just expect a reply. If at all, if at all not done, if you have joined through phone, it's completely fine. Just put a no in the chat box if at all you're not doing this initial setup today. So just confirmation. So wanted to know if you guys are here, or if you just kept the meet on. So yeah, come on, guys. No replies. Just yes or no. It's fine. Okay, okay. Anish says I is up. Good, good. So I've been seeing this guy, in all these compose camp sessions. So it's really good that he's actively participating in all the sessions, as well as he's working along. So that's really good. Good. That's good development also. So when it comes to recruitments, definitely working as a part of a team member, we can look forward for the such interested people to be involved in the projects. So any other people? So only one person? It's fine, completely fine if you say no, okay? If you don't have your PCs running, it's completely fine, guys. I expect a reply, so feel free to reply yes or no. Even a no is fine. Okay, I'll wait for a minute for your replies, and then we'll start it over. Okay, I don't see any replies. So what should I, assume? You guys are here, or you're just your meet is on, or you're too shy to, text in the chat box. All right, no issues. Okay, one more. Yes, come on, good. Okay, Pinkesh Kumar, good, good, good. So I see two S's. Okay, cool. Fine. Let's not waste much time. Okay. Let's quickly go to what we are going to set up today, so that it will be helpful for you guys, to continue from there on in today in tomorrow's building the application. So quickly, I will present my screen. Yeah, I believe my screen is visible. Any yes or no's? My screen is visible, right? Guys, you there? Okay, okay, cool, cool. So yes, we'll start off. So starting off, one thing I'll tell for this particular thing, since we are cloning a GitHub to our GitHub repo to our Android Studio. So I'll show you how it could be done. It's a very easy process. Before that, you will have one thing required, that is nothing but you will have your Git installed in your in your local machines. So even if you have not installed, that is completely fine. Android Studio itself provides you a built-in feature where you, with one click, you can just go ahead and install it. So yeah, without further ado, we will completely get into the setting up the application. So yeah. So starting off with, so this is the screen when you open. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so this is the screen. Whichever the projects you do, I mean, whichever the projects you have done, and everything will be shown in this. So click on get from VCS. Okay. So if at all you don't have your Git installed, it will come as install Git now. So click on that. It will download. It will just take about 2 minutes. So click on that and install Git. Okay. So I want to know, guys, if you have already installed the Git, or are you guys installing it right now? I okay, Anish already have it. What about Pinkish? He was also doing it, right? And others don't feel shy to open up or reply here. No, okay. Pinkish doesn't have it installed. So does it show an option for you to install in the Android Studio when you open it? When you say get from VCS? Does it show you an option? So it must show you an option here in order to install Git. So when you click on Get from VCS, so click here Git, and meanwhile it will check for your Git version. If it's already there, it will not show anything. Or else below this directory directory part below, just below that, it will show you install Git if it will, Git is not installed. Is it showing? Yes, good, good. So click on that and install Git. Okay. 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 Okay, I will just copy this link itself. So this is the repository which we are going to clone it for today. Okay. So let Pinkish be ready so we can go together. So Pinkish, let me know once you're done. Okay. So Anish said that he already has Git, so he may not have any issues with cloning. So let's wait for a minute for him to install it. I think it should be done in a minute. It won't take much time. Done with the installation? Okay. No. Okay, cool, cool, cool. We'll wait for a minute. So shall we continue? Are you done with the installation? Pinkesh, confirmation, please. Okay, cool. So let's move further. So yeah, so here, go to that Git URL which I have sent you in the chat. So if at all anyone have missed it, I'll just paste it again. So yeah, go to this link, and once you enter this page, go to click on code and click on copy button here. Okay, let it be HTTPS itself, and click on copy button here. Okay, in case if you are unable to find it, I'll also paste this link in the chat. So yeah, so what you need to do is just copy this link and go to the Android Studio, and in the URL section where you have this cursor running, now click on the URL section and click on paste this URL. Wait for a minute. Go to the location where you want to save it. Okay, and uh, we can create a folder. Okay, we can create a folder named affirmations and click OK. Okay. So cool. So we have created the folder. So click on that folder, click OK. So this is the place where you are installing your where you are copying or cloning the files from the Git. So this is what you need to do. So once you copy paste the Git URL and you have given the directory path, click on clone. Okay, this will take some time, depending on the speed of your PC. This will take some time. So maybe, yeah, it should happen within a minute or two. So are you guys done with the cloning part? So it will take some time to set up the things. Gradle also has to get completed, and click on the Git. Okay, click on starter. Are you guys done? Are you guys done? Yes. Okay, URL please. So okay, I have pasted the URL. If not, I'll paste it again. Okay. Oh, oops, sorry. Okay. Sorry, it got selected. Okay, copy and paste the URL. Okay, I think, yeah. This is the URL. Sorry for that. Yeah, this is the URL, .git. So if you want to copy it from the GitHub, so yeah, here you have copy, paste, yes. So this is a GitHub URL. So go to the GitHub URL and copy, or else you can directly copy using this link. Okay, done with that. So just give the URL there and specify the path. And once you're done, it will start cloning, and cloning shouldn't take much time. So it will take a minute or two. And then you can just click on this starter. Okay, what you need to do is down here, you will say Git. Okay, click on this Git. Okay, click on this Git. So you'll see the branches here. So there is a origin branch, and inside that you have two more branches. That is nothing but a main and a starter branch. So click on this starter branch and say checkout. Okay, right click on the starter branch and click checkout. Okay, right click on the starter branch and click checkout, and see, you should see a message like this: checked out new branch starter from origin/starter. So this is what you have to see. This is the message you have to see. Okay, we have to wait for some time, since we have fetched the files from the GitHub. It will take some time to load in our PC, and that's why it's taking some time to build. So the first build, or the initial first build, will definitely take some time. So let's wait for some 5 minutes. In almost everyone's PC with a normal specification, so it will take some time. So if you guys have done with this checkout, and if you see this message that checked out new branch starter from origin/starter, so please put it as in the chat box if you're done with that. So as you can see, the build is still going on. So it will take some time for the build to be completed. So that is why we split this app building session into two parts, or else it was very difficult to finish in one session itself. So yeah. Branch origins as starter. Yes, yes. Click on that starter down. There's a something called as a Git tab is there. So click on the Git tab and click on the starter. Right click on the starter and click on checkout. Okay, right click on the starter and click on checkout. So yeah, you should see a message called checked out branch starter. So origin/starter. Yes, cool. So Anish is done. What about Pinkesh? Are you stuck anywhere? No Git option. Okay, just go down there and click on this Git. Can you see that Git option here down? I think when I click, I'll click minus. So here, when the app initially did you finish with your cloning part? Did you clone your app? Is the cloning thing done? Okay, cool. So when your clone is done, it should show, it must show, since you are importing everything from the Git, it should show a Git tab here. Okay, it shows also Alt plus 9 also should open up this tab. So click on this Git tab here, and it will show you the branches here. What are the branches? And click on the startup branch and click on checkout. Right click and checkout. Can you see it now? Can you see it? No. That's not possible. It should show since you're importing it from Git. So since you're cloning it from the Git, so it must show a tab. So what are the tabs that has been shown to you? You had installed Git, right? It's showing some time. I didn't get you what you meant by it showing some time.
It's showing some like time remaining to complete, like 2 minutes to go.
The cloning part.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, cool. So let it complete. So you're not in this screen, right?
No.
Okay, cool. Maybe it depends on the speed of the net, so it might take some time to get cloned from the gate. So you might be on that screen. So once that is done, make sure click on this get and go to the starter and right click and check out. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can pause me anytime. So once it is done, if you face any issues, so I'll repeat again. So you have to go once your cloning part is done, click on this Git and click on the starter branch and right click and say checkout. So when you click on checkout, so it will show you a message checked out to the branch. Okay, checked out to the branch origin/starter. So that is what the message should show. And as I told, the initial build will take some time. So it is configuring all the projects since it has to import all the things from the Git. It will take some time. What about Anish? Is your build complete? Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. What is the processor you are using? Oh, nice. Ryzen 9. Cool. No wonder. And also you might have, sufficient RAM, maybe 16 GB, I guess. What's your RAM size? Yeah, 16 GB. Yes, yes. RTX 3050 Ti. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. No wonder the build is getting, getting done so quickly. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. Let Pinkesh also finish his cloning part and head over to the build. So let the project files load in my PC also. And we'll quickly, we just have to create some of the classes and packages, and then we'll be good to go for today. And then we can continue from tomorrow. So just a few things are pending. So once this build is complete, we can proceed off with that uh, classes and the packages. Prakash, is the cloning part done? Okay, cool, cool. No problem, no issues, no issues. Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for my build to get finished so that we can all continue together. Okay, I think it's almost done. So it's building the model now. So, so it should be done in a minute or two. It'll take around 10 minutes, for the total build to be get completed. Okay, so no issues regarding that. If it's taking a little longer than expected. Okay, yes, it's almost about to finish. Okay, yeah. It's almost about to finish, I guess. It's almost done. Yeah. I can see the directories here. So yeah, once you see the directories here, so I want you guys to go to the Java folder, okay, and click on this com.example.affirmations, okay. Right click on that and click on new and click on the package. Yeah, definitely it is not visible now. Again, I have to wait for some time so that everything loads properly. Okay, let's not hurry and do some mistakes while doing the setting up the app. Indexing Android SDK. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I can now see an option. See, once everything is complete, guys, so you should be able to see all these things. Okay, all the features that are available in the Android Studio for you to create and tweak with the application. So click on new and click on package. Okay, new package you're creating. So name of the package is the com.example.affirmations.model. Okay, just type model. So model is the name of your package. Okay, once that model package is created, okay, once that model package is created, right click on this model package. Okay, right click on this model package, click on new and say Kotlin class or file. Okay, once that model package is created, how to create a package? Click on this com.example.affirmation, right click on that, new, and then say package. Okay, then say package, and name of the package would be com.example.model. Everything will be already given. You just have to just type model and click enter. Okay, that is the thing which you have to alter. And once you're done with this thing, okay, once you've created the model, it will show here the model package has been created, and then you had to create a class. So how do you create a class? It is very simple. Right click, new, and Kotlin class or file. Okay. So once the model is created, well, we have to create a class inside that. So it's very pretty easy. So just go to new and say Kotlin class of file, click on it. Okay. And what is the name of it? So let us give the name of the class as affirmations. Okay. And let us give the name as affirmation. So click on, since this is the class file where we are storing the data, so it is called as data class. Okay, I believe you might have got some insights on the data class in the previous session. So in order to get a detailed explanation, you yourself have to work along, and learning will only happen once you get into it. So the content is already shared with you guys, so go through the content, learn the content, so it will also be useful. This object oriented concept is also useful when you come to the higher semesters. Learn these concepts, so it is asked in majority of the places. So yeah, in Kotlin there is something called as data class. So inside the data class we store data. So that is that is the simple understanding which you need to have. Now in order to go deep into it, you yourself has have to go there, go to the material shade, and then start learning from that. Okay, okay, quickly, we'll not waste much time. So affirmation is the name of the Kotlin class, and data class is what you have to select. Okay, once you click data class, click on select and say double click on it, or just say enter. Okay, so it will ask, do you want to add the following file to Git? So for now, I do not want to add it since I am working on my local machine. So click on cancel here. Okay. So yeah, so now we have a data class called as affirmation. What we need to do is very simple. So here we need to initialize two things. One is nothing but the string resource, and second one is nothing but the image resource. So how do we add this string resource and image resource? So we'll initially pass it as a parameter. Okay, so I will say as a string resource id. Okay, string resource id is what I am passing. Okay, string resource id, and this is nothing of type int. Okay, and comma, yeah, once you put comma, automatically that val keyword will be added. Okay, and also say image resource id. Okay, image resource id, and colon put this also is an integer. Okay, this also is an integer, and again put some comma. Again, that val keyword will be enter. So once you are done with this much, you have to prefix it at string resources. That means you have to explicitly say that it is a string resource. Okay, it is a string resource which we are having, and in order to use it in any of the places, okay, we need to have this. So go here, click here, and give a space. Okay, give a space here and say at string res. Okay, okay, at string res. Just if you type str, it will come. So it is the second option, string res. Click on enter. Okay, so it will automatically do the necessary importing stuff. And next one is nothing but here it is an image resource. Image resource, you all know that you have been building apps in Compose in the first two events. So in the first two events also we have covered what is the image resource and where it is. So image resources will always be in the drawable. So what we need to give here is drawable resource. Okay, drawable res. So automatically this import also will be done. So once this much is done, okay, go to the data resource. Okay, go to the data resource and go select all of this, uncomment it. Okay, uncomment it. Uncommenting, you can directly do this, or you can just remove this thing. Okay, these two things, starting and ending thing. I think everyone must be familiar with uncomment, I mean commenting and uncommenting things. So you can see here affirmation, everything is coming in red. That means there is some import issues. So no, keep your cursor there, mouse cursor there, and click on Alt Enter. So when it asks to import, click on Enter. So everything will be imported and no errors. Cool. So here no errors. This affirmations .kt, it is showing a red mark. It is not due to. Do not think that the above app name. It is showing it an red mark. Do not think it as a an error or something. It just shows that that git status that you have you have not committed the changes. That is what it means. Okay, so affirmations, you have to create a package called model. How do you create the package? Right click on this, click on new and say package. Okay, click on package, and here also here also you have to once the package is created, you have to give it a name as model, and once the model is created, you have to click new and say Kotlin class of file and name that class as affirmation, and do not forget to select affirmation class is of the data class. So say it is you want a data class, so automatically the things will be imported. Only thing you have to add is string resource id integer, as well as val image resource id, that is image resource id int. So once you add this, that automatically the report starts, and add string res and add drawable res is the keywords you have to add in order to explicitly say the say to the Kotlin that these are the composable apps, and add string res is the type of string resource, and add drawable resource of drawable resource. So we will discuss deeply on how to work on it. How we can take things from the classes, and how we can use it as a list. So data resource which is already given, we did not do anything. Okay, data resource is already given. We went to the data source, data source inside the data folder. Okay, that data folder is nothing but it is a package. Okay, so we uncommented this thing. So these are the affirmations which we have. We have around 10 affirmations along with the image, as well as we have the resource. So all these things are available here. Okay, and yeah, so I think already we took a lot of time. Okay, for today, the setting up of the app should be done. Okay, all of you guys set up the app for today, so that tomorrow it will be easy for you guys when you start. Okay, then you can start with the coding part. Okay, actual thing where you need to make your app in the along with the along with me, you can code along. Okay, so this is it for today. Okay, I guess you should have completed this. What about the two people who were along with me in doing this? Are you guys done with this many steps, or do you want some time? Or okay, Anish says he's done. So anyway, are you stuck, Pinkish? uh, any doubts? Feel free to ask. Okay, I can see on the Anish replying. What about Pinkesh? What happened? Were you able to finish that? Or do you need any help? Are you stuck anywhere? Others who are there in the meet, guys, please make sure you follow these steps. Okay, follow these steps, and make sure to do it when you come for the next session, so that it'll be very helpful for you guys to continue along, since you yourself had saying today that it really takes a longer time when I wouldn't say that I this is a very low-end PC. It's a very decent specification PC, but still it will take some time. So unless you have a very high-end specifications in your PC, it will definitely take some time. So since we are importing from Git and all, so yeah, so I guess Pinkesh was joining and leading the meet. So are you facing any issues? So or shall we wind up for the day? What's the status? I believe since there is no reply, I think we can end for the day, and there are no questions as of now. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's it for the day. So I'll hand over to back to Ashish. Yes, Ashish, take it over.
Yes, thanks, Pratik. Yeah, so as Pratik said, this is the first part of the app. We're going to continue tomorrow. So as we said that we're going to have 4 sessions for this is an event series, that is Jetpack Compose, an event series, and we plan to have 4 sessions, and this is the third session. So we're gonna have only one more session remaining, the last session, and in that, what we're gonna teach a bit more of Kotlin again, and we're gonna finish the app which Pratik started off today. So it's going to be tomorrow. We'll let you know exactly when we are mailed. We send you today's resources and the video link in the mails. So guys, before you come tomorrow, please make sure to be prepared, set up the app, and come tomorrow. I really appreciate if everyone if you could ask your friends to join too, because maybe they have some commitments. We'll always send you the materials, and with that we can always learn and catch up for tomorrow. As as we already mentioned before, we will recruit you. We will have recruitments really soon. We will be really appreciative if everyone would participate. We have seen so far Anish and Pinkesh highly participating. You know, we are just seniors and you're our juniors. We're just trying to help you out. So if we're always interactive, things will be much more effective and efficient. Effective. So as of now, we're doing things on Gmeet because, as mentioned, we don't know if everyone's on Discord. Once everyone's on Discord, we'll have all sessions on Discord with you when things are going to be much more interactive and fun. That is all we have to say. Does anyone have any doubts to ask? Tomorrow we'll have the session. We'll mail you the resources by tonight. And tomorrow is going to be the fourth and the last session of Jetpack Compose. Any doubts so far? Feel free to ask. Since I do not see any questions from anyone, I will end the meet. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.